everything's easy to do once you do it.
Welcome,
Not true.
Chimumu. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome back to the Huge Podcast.
Welcome.
It's the best podcast on the internet. I can tell you that.
And it's going on right now, live and direct.
And if you are here right now, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Know that, it doesn't get much better than this.
No, it doesn't. We've had some technical issues, a couple of light bulbs that didn't want to turn on. Maybe an internet issue or
Mainly
two.
this one.
I mean, it's
A couple of vacations. You went to wear somewhere hot. Didn't really come back with much of a tan, disappointingly, but...
I hate to tell you this, man, but that might have been a couple of days ago. So, tans fade over time.
That's true. You've been back for a while.
Yes.
I'm joined by my very special co-host. His name is Drasko.
That's me. Hey.
And our
hi.
lovely producer, Emily.
Hello.
Hello.
Don't be alarmed. She is
Where are you today?
where are you right now?
I'm in a forest full of magic mushrooms.
Wow.
I know. It's
That's-
magical.
That is
Your
magic.
favorite. Your favorite.
Legitimately, this is everywhere I want to be all the time.
Well, maybe one day you will. I think you only have that Airbnb for tonight, and then you're packing your bags and going somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's a pretty strict rooming policy over there at the Magic Mushroom Forest. Those gnomes run a very tight ship.
They do. That's how they're still alive, gnomes.
Gnomes.
Because they run a tight ship.
Yep.
Nobody can mess with them.
Oh, fun fact. If you're ever walking through the woods, make sure to wear your shirt backwards so that gnomes don't fuck with you.
Oh, okay.
That's a real thing. Somebody told me that once, and I didn't believe them, but apparently it's.
So what? You didn't believe them at first. Why do you believe in them now?
I guess it's true.
How do you know it's true now? That's bull.
I mean, somebody says something often enough, it's gonna be true.
That's not the case.
It's not how it is. It's just what you perceive, Drasko. It's just what you think.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you're ever in the Philippines then and walking through the forest, make sure to put your shirt and your pants and your shoes on backwards.
Was this your segue into your vacation discussion?
No, but it is now.
If there's one thing I know about the Philippines is there's no gnomes there.
Whoa, mister.
There are no gnomes in the Philippines.
I think we've got some people who would disagree with you on that one.
Gnomes only exist in
Europe, Germany.
Yeah.
Just in Germany.
England,
Uh-huh.
the Scandinavias. I don't. They might have
So what do they have in the
been
Philippines?
brought over on a ship at some point to
Whoa.
Canada, mistakenly.
No, man, we only have Sasquatches up here. That's it.
Sasquatches probably killed any gnomes that we had coming up here.
Yeah, so what do they have in the
What do you
Philippines?
think we have?
What do they have in the Philippines, Lore Master Hugo? You've read the Similarian.
They have the equivalent of gnomes, but they're called little mini conquistadors.
Oh, is that how they got gnomes? Did the Portuguese fucking bring them over on their boats?
We didn't go that way. Well, we did, but we missed the Philippines.
Oh.
The Spanish.
The Spanish brought over the gnomes?
No, they brought over the little mini conquistadors.
Okay.
The little ones.
Mm-hmm,
They came bearing language,
mm-hmm,
cerveza,
mm-hmm.
and a religion. I don't know. You might have heard of it.
The little thing
Called
religion.
I don't know which one.
It's a little thing called religion.
Little thing called religion.
Kind of a big deal.
But it's not that the Philippines. I don't know what's accurate here. I could be totally wrong.
Chumumu says Filipinos in the chat.
The Filipinos. It's not that they weren't spiritual or even had their own religion, but when the conquistadors arrived,
Right.
they were like, nah, no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's this.
Mhm.
It's you're gonna have our system,
Mhm.
our religion.
Mhm.
You get our bread,
Mm-hmm.
you get our cerveza, and you might get a nap at 3 p.m.
Might be.
We're for sure gonna take a nap at 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
We've yet to decide if you will.
They actually still have people in the Philippines who hang on to the pre-colonial religions and pre-colonial languages as well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a minority for sure.
I say yeah, as if I knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is an episode of Fake History by Hugo.
Fake history and fake knowledge, but this is a real fact. They actually still have little pockets of civilization where people reject Catholicism, and they just reject any kind of
Honestly, that's good.
new colonial thinkings that the Spanish brought with them.
Yeah, conquistadores. I don't think there's any reason to not do that and maintain the Spanish.
You can. I think
History.
it's just difficult to kind of get a sense of what actually happened, because the Spanish probably wiped out a lot of the old traditions, and now a lot of them that are left are just the newer or the Spanish traditions that they brought over.
I think there was some murder involved as well, and brainwashing.
Sources vary on that one. We'll have to do some fact checking.
I wouldn't really give the Spanish people too much credit in terms of brainwashing anybody. I don't think they're that.
Says the Portuguese guy.
How we brainwash. Well, I don't think we're really that adept at brainwashing people.
You think so, wouldn't you?
I think it was more force. It was more like, listen, you do this, or no more cerveza, or no more bread. I struggle to think of what else they brought over, at that point.
Well, they brought over a bunch of cuisines and dishes as well. A lot of food.
Did they bring over, when the Spanish people went to the Philippines? It was well after the Iron Age, right?
I believe so, yeah. They would need the iron to graft onto their ships. I mean, the ships were made of wood, but they still had muskets and armor and things like that.
Yeah, but but I imagine the Filipino people already had metal too.
They might have had metal, but they were still...
There's no way they didn't. That was I think when the Spanish people went over the Philippines was the 15th century.
They may have had metal or not. It also depends on what's available in the region. Some geographical regions just don't have metal.
Bro, where on earth is there no metal? The whole core is made of iron.
Okay, you can have metal, but that doesn't mean you can make good iron out of it. The Japanese, they have shit iron. That's why a lot of their weapons are made out of wood. And the whole thing about every motherfucker having a katana and a sword, that's bullshit.
I never seen a katana made out of wood. Next, you're gonna tell me the katanas are made out of nori? Well, seaweed katanas dried up.
Anyway.
Okay, so the Japanese. So now you took Japanese 101 history lessons as well. I didn't know you wanted to get into the Japanese lessons. I thought we were just sticking to the Filipino history.
Okay, fine. We'll stick to my in-depth knowledge of Filipino history now that I spent 2 weeks there.
I heard the Filipinos killed your Magellan. Magellan?
Who's that?
I don't know who that guy is.
He sounds like what? Maybe some boatman, a dude.
I don't know.
He was a very famous cartographer, explorer, probably. Maybe.
Obviously not that famous. I've never heard of him. That doesn't even sound like a Portuguese name. Magellan doesn't sound Portuguese at all, Chimumu.
Sounds like we got some fake news going on in the chat.
Magellan was a Portuguese explorer.
Okay, well, if it's Portuguese, he's definitely not Magellan. It's Magellan. We don't say G's like J. Anyway, what do I know? I'm not Portuguese.
Look at what we started here.
Oh shit! Stop. Actually,
you've decreased in size.
I'm so small now.
Now you're one of the gnomes.
That's so bad. I'm a little low, but
I think that's called karma.
That's another thing the Spanish people didn't bring over the Philippines. Karma. Thankfully, they left that behind. Or actually, if anything, the Philippines introduced karma to them. You do bad, you get bad.
I don't think karma is a Catholic trait.
No. No. Well, I mean, they kind of the closest thing they had was an eye for an eye, but
that wasn't Catholic either. That was the Code of Hammurabi.
What?
Yeah.
All this time?
Yes.
I don't even know the Code of Karobi. Harambe.
Make the punishment fit the crime. That's kind of like he
So did it predate the
Hello.
Catholics?
yeah, this was like a Mesopotamian ruler.
No way, man.
Hello.
Nothing predates the Bible.
Okay,
Anything
so
in the Bible.
Hammurabi was really important because his was one of the first instances of civil law. If you were to go into, I can't remember what city he ruled in, but if you go into one of his cities, there was a big stone pillar that had all the rules of the city chiseled into it, and you basically had no excuse to oh, sorry, I didn't know this was against the law. Bullshit, motherfucker. It's written on the big piece of stone in front of the building. Oh.
I don't believe that.
Oh. Well, that's true.
You were all muted, then Chappie.
Were. Active word there being were.
Could just be the internet.
Could be the internet, you know. The internet's been acting up lately. Ted Rogers isn't what he used to be after he, died.
I'm gonna pull out a mouse.
He took all the internet with him. Bastard.
Can you hear everybody now? Chew mew mew.
Bear with us, folks. We
Just-
might be having some technical issues at the moment.
Switch to Drasko. Switch to Drasko.
Oh,
Drasko, do something entertaining.
okay.
Entertain us.
Okay, so let's see. I've been I finished reading this book called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and this is my 5-minute book review of that book. If you want to cry uncontrollably at one point and then feel absolutely miserable in your core, but then be rekindled in the love of humanity, read this book. It is wonderful and amazing.
It's phenomenal.
It's one of the greatest books I've ever written, and I've only read 3 books. No, I've read every book out there, and this one is amazing. Yes, I highly recommend reading it. If you don't like reading, you should listen to the audiobook. Me and my partner are listening to the audiobook. Right. Thank you, Hugo, for testing our audio. Me and my partner are listening to the audiobook right now, and we both love it. So if you've got, $20 burning a hole in your pocket, pick up the book and then bring some tissues with you as well.
This podcast sponsored by Audible.
Hey, my brother works for Audible.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Next segue.
Yeah, I'll have to learn to read, and then I'll eventually start reading that book.
How are we on the audio now? Are we all fixed up?
Miu is our technical director.
Yes.
Making sure that everything's fine.
Yes.
The only person on the other end actually being able to hear everything as it's happening.
That's amazing, because otherwise it's just you and me talking into a pair of robot penises.
Hey,
Oh, and
Yeah.
Emily has a condomed robot penis that she's talking
God.
into. Yeah. Wild, I know. But, that's...
they are kind of like, I could see it.
You can see a robot penis. Just
I could see it.
You're just slowly breathing into it.
They're not. They're a little. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the details, but I could see it. I could certainly see how your imagination took you there.
It goes into some very interesting places from time to time. It's usually never pretty boring up there, although sometimes it is. But sometimes
That's a
it's
good
all right.
thing.
Yeah.
You
can be happy just kind of sitting there on the bus and grinning like an idiot, and then everybody is staring at you like, what the fuck? And yeah,
everyone else is like, I'm in danger.
yeah, or they're just or they just can't be alone by themselves for 5 minutes.
There's people like that. They can't be alone. They need to be always doing something or with somebody
Yeah.
because.
But they need to be listening to something.
Yeah.
They gotta have some kind of
'Cause
media
otherwise-
blabbing at them.
I wonder about that. Is it do you just have TV noise?
Yeah, I used to
Rattling around in there. It's just too annoying. To hear it.
I used to do that when I was younger. I was always like, I need to just have something on in the background. But then after a while, I just kind of just started remembering episodes of The Simpsons, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can do this for a while, and then it works. But yeah, I guess just some people they just they need something on all the time, and I don't know if it's because they don't want to think for themselves, or they're afraid of overthinking things. Or maybe it's just something that you're listening to and you're just kind of yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. I agree with that. I believe it.
You know, I believe that too, but I think ultimately, at the end of the day, you're just kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you can get away with doing that.
Yes. All
When
right.
you're on the bus and your mind is like, entertaining you, that's kind of messed up.
Well, I don't
you
have
should need Audible. You should need to sign up. Your brother would really appreciate it.
sign up now, and you get the first 3 months for $1 a month.
Wow,
We,
3 months?
Yep, 3
Just
months.
They're
legally, we can't
desperate.
promise that.
Yeah,
They
but
only do 3 months when they really need you. After that, once the numbers are up high enough, forget it. You
Yeah,
get
then-
2 weeks if you're lucky.
then it's $12.99 a
like
month. After
like
that.
Xbox Game Pass right now, you get 2 weeks for $1.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's nonsense. But the good news is, Hugo, I don't need to take the bus anymore because as of yesterday, I have a full G driver's license.
Oh shoot!
Yes.
Congrats.
Yes.
Although I thought you were driving there anyway,
well,
under the table.
I'm driving. I was driving with a G license or a G2.
Yeah.
But now I've got the full G.
Now you got the full G, so
I
now
did-
you can have a drink and drive.
I can have a drink and drive, but good thing I didn't do it yesterday because the cops pulled me over for a spot check.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What is this? They pull they can just pull you over randomly?
It was
Like what, the ride program.
It was OPP actually because I went and did my G test in Oshawa. I went all the way over there because I did like a practice run of the test in Toronto, and you have to like get on the 427 at some point, and that on ramp is short as a motherfucker, and my car cannot bring itself up to 100 to get merge into the highway. And that's one of the things, if you do not match the speed of the highway,
Yeah.
by the time you get, it's a fail. So I'm like, okay, fuck that. So yeah, went to Oshawa, did it there. Anyway, did the test. The test proctor was like, yeah, you passed. All right, good job. Get the fuck out of here. Go home. And I'm going home, and just as I'm going onto the ramp to get onto the collector's lane on the highway, there's like 3 OPP cruisers, and they're stopping everyone who goes down that ramp. And it's the perfect spot to catch motherfuckers because you can't back up. It's a one-way. There's no turns allowed. So if you're trying to turn, there's nowhere for you to go.
They always choose the best.
They
spots.
catch you right there.
Wait, what time of the day was this?
This was at 2 p.m.
Holy crap! They're
Yep.
checking to see if people are drunk at 2 p.m. in
Yeah.
Oshawa.
Well, there were a lot of people with substance abuse issues, a lot of drunks, a lot of homeless people as well. Yeah,
that's
there-
crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of homelessness and drug addiction going on in Oshawa, especially around the Drive Test Center. That place had a couple of characters wandering around.
Wow.
Interesting place. But yeah, also fun fact now is that if you don't agree to their spot check or ride check, they can just like fucking suspend your license right there on the spot.
Really?
Yeah. So if they tell you,
Wait, how did you find this out from them?
What do
Did
you mean?
ask? Like, what if I don't give you?
no,
money?
that's just the law now.
Oh.
If you in all of Ontario now, I'm assuming because there were so many goddamn.
That's right. They did like beef up. Like,
Yeah. So now they can administer checks on the spot, and if you refuse, they arrest you and suspend your license right then and there. So before you could reasonably refuse to give a breathalyzer, but now you don't have that right anymore. Now, if they say you have to do it, you just fucking have to do it. That's it.
Well, I mean, I never would have refused it regardless, but there are those people that will.
My freedom.
I'm so sorry, but also not because. Okay, are there spoilers in the book in the chat?
No, not really.
Book
I already
spoilers.
told you what was going to happen, Hugo. You're going to cry like a little baby after you.
Yeah,
read
that's not a
tomorrow
spoiler.
and
That's
tomorrow
just
and
what to
tomorrow.
expect.
Yeah, and that's what I said.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler
It's been good.
It's not a spoiler to say that you're going to get in touch with your human side, Hugo. All right,
It is a letdown.
you robot,
robot,
robot penis talker.
robot, robust robot penis. It
But-
picks up sound.
But yeah, that's my I guess kind of big news.
Hey man, yeah, congrats.
Very very glad I finished the test.
You're well on your way to getting your G0. You get that when you retire.
Yeah.
No more G. They
Yeah.
take it away from you because you can't drive anymore.
I know.
Do you think they should do that
What? Take away driver's licenses?
when you're old enough?
I think. I
Like,
mean,
I feel like they should.
I don't know if they should. I feel like at a certain point you should be going in to get tested a little bit more consistently. Because right now, with this test that I have, I don't have to take another fucking road test unless I want to drive like a motorcycle or a larger truck or like some kind of like utility vehicle or something like that. I just have to keep paying the fee to renew my license.
Yeah, but isn't there like, do you have to like at 80? Do you have to take a test?
No,
At 85?
no,
89?
no,
90?
no.
95?
You can keep driving until you're fucking 122.
That's crazy. Dude.
Yeah,
because
you just have to keep paying the fee.
you know when you were born and all your faculties weren't exactly there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens again
especially when you're driving. It's
as
the
you get
worst
older.
time.
It's
Yep.
a circle of life. Have you ever watched Lion King? Elton John talked about it.
I believe it.
Dr. DJ Elton John.
Dr. John.
He talked about how there's a circle of life.
Yes.
And you go to where you come from.
And then you turn into grass. And something about elephants.
I don't know that you turn into grass.
Look, it happens.
in
Okay.
my world that the conquistadors taught me, you turn back into the
Rotisserie
exact
chicken.
No, you turn back to the same species that you were. Maybe not the same gender, but if you're a human, you're always a human. If you're a dog, you're always a dog.
So you don't move up or down the
No, it's not
life
like
chain.
that. No, because you'd have no experience being a bird.
But
I wouldn't know how to fly.
I mean, I guess you got a point. So what? You're just gonna get reincarnated as some other fucking dude again?
You submit your resume of your previous life, and
Right.
like you sure wasted a lot of time being a dumbass.
Well, don't you think that they would demote you for that? You're like, you were given the best spot. You were human. That's the best you could be, and you wasted it. Enjoy being a slug, motherfucker. Have fun with that. Someone who enjoys their life is gonna come by and step on your ass, and then you're gonna come back here, and then what are we gonna give you?
Okay, but like that, the person making those decisions isn't fucking Jigsaw from Saw. What was
Jigsaw.
It? Jigsaw.
It was Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, yeah.
Jigsaw from
Saw.
Saw.
Jigsaw from Saw.
Yeah.
Jigsaw.
It's
What?
Jigsaw.
Wow. And the movie was Saw.
And the movie was
Holy
called
crap.
Saw.
Anyway,
More writing.
they were pretty forgiving.
Yes. I don't know. I don't think they were. The whole idea was if you fucking do bad shit in life, you get demoted to a fucking tapeworm. And then if you do good stuff in life, you get, I don't know, something. I don't think you can move up like the deity chain. I think once you hit like human, you have to transcend as a human into the Buddha.
I just think like I have no experience being a worm. I'm not gonna know what to do. I'm for sure gonna die.
I
Look,
think that's part of the fun.
If you send me
that,
back as
I
a
think
worm,
that is part of the fun.
I'm messing it up for sure. If you thought I did bad as a human, wait till I come back at the end of my life as a worm.
Oh man, worms are pretty cool. Did you know that they reproduce asexually?
It's not enticing me, man. I still want to come back as a human instead.
Oh man, it's crazy. You know that like Band-Aid looking thing that worms have?
Yeah,
That's actually how they reproduce. It starts at one end of the worm, and then like it moves along collecting like eggs and sperm, and then it fertilizes itself, and then it falls off the worm, and then that little Band-Aid becomes more worms.
I know people that can do that.
Yeah, it's
People
wild.
that are basically like that.
They just like pull off pieces of themselves and they just like leave it on the ground, and then you get another shitty kid just like coming along.
It is pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie, but again, I don't want to come back as a worm. Sorry, God, but you're gonna have to do better than that.
Well, I think the onus is on you to do better than that, man. I think that's the
We're
catch.
gonna
I was going to say, I think they're not expecting you to perform well. I
Well,
think
they're not-
it's a punishment.
Yeah.
They're not expecting to have a conversation either. When I get up there and they're deciding what I'm coming back as,
So you're
we're gonna sit down and have a conversation.
gonna negotiate
Yeah,
with God.
yeah. I know it's gonna come as a surprise to everyone at the table. At the everybody from that final last season supper was
Last
there.
season of the supper.
They're all gonna be there and they're all gonna be like, "Whoa, this guy wants to talk." And they're gonna be like, "No, let's just send him off on his way as the worm." But I'm not gonna let them. And they're gonna be like,
Some of them are gonna be no, worm this guy, and then some of them are gonna be like no, let's hear him out.
suddenly we're negotiating to let this guy come back as something else.
Oh man, you're changing the whole concept of dogma, man.
Yeah, I'm not going back as a worm, man.
Uh-huh.
I want to come back as a human again.
What if we put you as a monkey? How about that? You know, you're not a worm, but you're not yet.
Can I be Diddy Kong?
Look, how
I'm
about
not even asking to be Donkey Kong,
okay, monkey, and we'll give you a hat.
but I'm not Diddy Kong.
You have a hat. What do you want, a vest too? You're gonna have to work your way to the vest. All right, meet us halfway here. All right,
All right.
all right.
I'll
We're
take
good.
it.
All
I'll
right,
take it.
all right. Good job. All right, it's done. All right, zap his ass, and that's how it's gonna work.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
All right.
As long as there's like a conversation and kind of like choose the animal I'm coming back as. Diddy Kong isn't bad. Man, I hate these.
All right, you know what, man? You just lost Diddy Kong.
Those were a gift.
I know, but they're awful. Sometimes you get bad gifts. They're beautiful. Look. You see that?
I mean, they're solid bronze.
They're bronze?
Yeah, they're super expensive.
Yeah,
But
man, you can
isn't-
turn it into a trophy.
Isn't bronze the cheapest metal?
Oh my god.
Okay, well, it's still a
I thought
real
brass
metal.
was expensive. Is
Oh,
bronze
wait,
silver
No,
and
it's,
gold?
It's either bronze or brass. I don't know. The
Maybe they're
difference.
brass. But anyway, the point is the design is poor. They added these little perforations. You can see them, you know, to like so that there's no suction on the cups. But with condensation, that gets nullified. And then every time you lift up your glass, it comes with it. And then it's slams.
I mean, I think Drasko's doing okay.
I'm doing.
That's because he's smart.
you got to put your finger on the coaster
You gotta put your
and
finger,
then you lift.
split the cup. Yeah, I know. That's why I said because you're smart.
That's how
He's
you do
using strategy. He's doing real well. He's for sure coming back as a human.
He's not having to fight for his life at the Last Supper, talking about how he doesn't want to be a worm.
the
But,
last.
but you might not come
Supper.
back as like, you know, the kind of human you want to be. You might come back as like a dictator.
Ooh, that's an upgrade. Technically, I like it.
Is it? No one likes dictators.
Except for everyone who the dictator is ruling. They gotta love me.
They have to.
They
by
have-
law.
that- it's on the stone tablet when you walk into the city. You're gonna have to love me.
Dictator with a CK. That's going to be you, man.
Looks like somebody's getting the dictator. Looking at you, Hugo.
I'm excited. I hope you do come back as that. But you know what? You were saying earlier we are the luckiest, you know, to come as a human. Who knows what we were before?
Yeah, that
You know,
you believe in that hokey pokey bullshit?
maybe we were dogs or worse, slugs, like you said. Here we are living life
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
As humans.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally the lottery. Was it Gary Vaynerchuk or Vaynerchuk, whatever the hell his name was, talked about that we're all living, you know, it's like we won the lottery and then we spend our lives being miserable. But yet we got the best. We're kind of alive in the best time in the world ever.
Yeah, it's true.
And we're alive as humans, which as far as any other species you could have been born as is kind of the top.
Yeah.
It's the coolest one to be born as. I mean, we play video games. No other animals out there playing video games. Or
Play video games and smoke weed and eat
Get
chips all
drunk.
day,
Yeah.
man. It's like
So-
doesn't get better than that.
It doesn't really get better than this, yeah. And yet we choose to not be happy about it.
We choose to be miserable and make problems for ourselves and then wallow in those problems and just yeah.
You think we make problems for ourselves because we have no like tangible, real survival problems to actually deal with, though?
Oh, I believe that 100%. Like all of a sudden the way my coworkers are acting at work is my biggest fucking problem in life, you know? It's not about like, oh man, what am I gonna eat? I fucking dread what am I gonna eat because of the cooking I have to do, not because I have to go out and fucking hunt for a fucking deer. Like, my biggest issue is, am I gonna have enough time to watch the next episode of Game of Power and fucking do the dishes all on the same day? All right, that's my fucking survival flight or fight bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think the fact that we have things so easy is what allows us to focus on these other things in life, complain about these other things. Because if everything really hit the fan, then we'd probably just be focusing on
Ourselves.
the bare survival parts. Like, we don't have to think about clean water
Yeah.
and food
I mean, there are people who do.
Yeah,
There are a lot of
shelter.
people who do.
And it's like the people that don't have to think about that can then go and think about these other problems. Yeah.
But I mean, it also kind of gives us the whole, now we can develop other things as well, like better internet, flatter TV screens, faster phones. Are they things we really need? Probably not. Do they make life more convenient? Absolutely.
They're pretty sick, that's for sure. I
they're
mean, this
pretty
whole
cool.
thing is coming through technology. Everything.
Technology,
Science and maths.
science, and maths. 1 × 1 equals 2.
Ology. 1 × 1
Equals
no,
2. I
no
actually
teriology.
okay. I didn't listen to this raving lunatic, but I listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson's rebuttal of him.
Oh yeah,
He sent in a letter,
he sent this 36-page manuscript of
his theses.
of why why his sense mate or why his math
Why
makes
his
sense.
math is the best math in the world, and why every other mathematician is garbage tier compared to him. It's
I find it fun. Okay, so all right. If first, I think people need to know. I mean, everybody probably knows that Terrence Howard, the actor, was on the Joe Rogan podcast,
War Machine.
War Machine in the
Old War
original-
Machine, not
original
Cheetah.
Iron Man.
Yes.
Can you pull up a picture? Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Terry Howard.
Terry Howard. I mean, I think a lot of people might not know his name.
I mean, I didn't know who
but
he
everybody
was.
recognizes him.
When you told me War Machine, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I think I remember.
Look at him; he's a handsome devil.
That doesn't even like look like what. Okay, yeah, that one with the War Machine down there.
Oh yeah, this is what's that one from? He's the one in this orange coat. He's in his own advancement in the math world.
Yeah.
And he's got obviously we're not going to go. I don't even want to pull up any of that. You can go look it up.
If
yourself.
you've got 45 to 3 hours to lose,
it's 3 hours long, that podcast.
oh
but
God,
in it, it's not just him.
Yeah, it's other people as well.
I don't know, the guy that comes on after Terrence Howard
Mm-hmm.
kind of nicely tells him that, like, I think you might have a way to contribute to the engineering world,
yeah,
but not the math world.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, stepping back a bit, Terrence Howard sort of puts out what he believes is real math, and that we've all been fooled and lied to, and that,
of course,
yeah, because 1 × 1 can't equal 1.
no.
Because you can't multiply one thing by another real thing
Yeah.
and have it equal 1, because
Like,
it negates. You see that? Intelligence doesn't last forever.
Okay.
That's why we have to test you again at 85 years old when you're doing that damn fucking driver's license test.
Okay, so I've got 1 glass, and now I'm gonna times it by 1 glass. Guess what? I got 2 fucking glasses.
There's 2
here.
glasses.
There's 2 glasses here, people. That's not a fucking lie.
So there has to that 1 × 1
Yeah.
has to be 2.
Why wouldn't it be? It's flawless. How could you disagree?
That's teriology for you, if you were wondering. It's as simple as that.
Right.
But they lied to you in telling you that 1 glass times 1 glass is actually just 1 glass. Like, what happens to the second glass?
Yeah.
I mean, the beauty is he's just confusing multiplication and addition. Like, that's the real beauty
He
here.
thinks it's a different thing. Yeah.
He never learned what multiplication
And
was.
that's why
It's
it's
like
so sad.
one
It's just
group of
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's just a faster way to add.
Yeah, that's what multiplication is. It's a simplification of addition. But he didn't understand that. And honestly, when he talked about on the podcast, he talked about sending his 36-page like thesis to Neil deGrasse Tyson, which first of all I find hilarious because it's like, do you really think Neil deGrasse Tyson is the leading scientist of the world? He's a science communicator. I mean, he's awesome. He's a great personality. I love Neil deGrasse because he makes science accessible to people like me that don't know the science, but he's not the leading researcher in math.
He's not the head science man.
The way that Terrence Howard kind of thinks he is. But anyway, I think like everyone's been really nice to him in the way that they've been like, look, I think you're kind of wrong about the way you're thinking about things. But yet Terrence Howard is like, nah, you guys are just, you're hating on me because I'm just an actor. You know?
But the difference is like people would not have been nice if he had come out with like a new theory in calculus. I think it's because he's coming out with something so basic that they're like, oh, you poor baby.
Yeah,
like,
so
we got to be gentle with
talk
you.
down to him a little bit.
It's not even like complicated math. It's literally started at the bottom, the very beginning of math.
like-
He's trying to discredit what the most basic existing math.
Yeah, like if you know your shit, people will really come at you if they disagree. Like if you're at the graduate level, even at the university level, if you come out with something kind of horrendously wrong, you'll get torn a new one. But like it's basically like arguing with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old and just being like, no, sweetie, like it's different when you times it
That's
versus add it. Like
That's just not how it works.
So sad.
Yeah.
But it was honestly a really entertaining podcast. More so because Joe Rogan was really buying into it. He was like, whoa.
Joe Rogan buys into everything, though. Have you seen this guy? You can go up there and tell him like complete bullshit, and if you have like that conviction of in your voice, this guy will fucking believe you.
Yeah,
and that's the thing I hate about this guy. He gives a platform to every drooling nincompoop who comes up and is like, "I've got an idea, Joe. Yeah, come on up, man. Let's hear what you got to say."
Yeah.
God damn.
He does challenge people sometimes when it's things he's very comfortable with, which is more like politics or like social studies type of things. But like whenever it comes to do with science, math, anything as soon as somebody comes at you with something paranormal, he immediately is just like, whoa.
That's
and believes it, wants to believe it. And I think that's the main thing is he wants to believe these things.
Yeah.
He wants to believe that there's something beyond the general consensus of understanding and the proven science of things.
Yeah.
And so he gives them a platform. But like, I agree that's kind of the problem is like he gives all of these like quacks a platform to spew their BS. And actually in the beginning, so when that episode was first aired, most people were siding with Terrence Howard. They were like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, just an actor, but look what he's capable of. And it wasn't until after a couple of days where there was a bunch of actual intelligent people disproving and disqualifying everything that he said that then the comments on the podcast started to change tune and were like, ha ha, ha, what a nutter.
Yeah.
Like, but it's interesting because at first everybody was like, whoa. They were on the same page as Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
They were all like, Terrence Howard, where have you been? Because he comes at you, it's like, I have 97 patents. And it's like, you start to think, like, when I first watched it too, I was like, whoa, like, that's kind of crazy.
Interesting.
Because he starts talking about how, like, all of the current VR stuff that's going on is based off of his patents. Like, Apple Vision Pro and MetaQuest, they're all using his patents. And I was like, that's insane. And then, like, on the podcast, he pulls up and there's like patent list and has his name on it. And you're like, you can't help but believe that, you know? But then you look into it, I mean, for one, you realize like patents, anyone could patent anything. The patenting body in the States isn't concerned with science and sound like knowledge and science, right? They're concerned with like, okay, you want legal ownership over this idea.
Yeah. It's yours.
It's yours. Here you go. You pay the fee.
Yeah.
You have the application form.
Yeah.
And essentially anyone can patent anything.
So I can patent hamburger earmuffs and they'll give me the patent for hamburger earmuffs, but it's ultimately up to me to make it like a feasible thing that actually works.
And it doesn't make it anything scientific, but like, and actually, so I don't remember the name of the guy that went on after Terrence Howard on the podcast. But he does say, I don't think you know what Or I think he says like, I think you what you think patents are is very different what they actually are. Essentially, in those, like he said in a different way, but like you were saying that like patents aren't this scientific, like because you have a patent on something, it's not some
It's
scientific
not proven
verification of some thinking that you have.
Yeah.
It's just that you submit this idea, you want to patent it, pay us the money, we'll patent it for you, and then you hold the patent. And that's all it is.
It's a completely commercial transaction.
Exactly. It's like it's a commercial and legal sort of operation that concerns itself absolutely in no way with science and math and knowing any of that stuff.
Okay.
But he seems to think it does.
Oh,
there's no peer review, right? Like
no
you can patent a wrong idea, and that's what I think he's done for VR. He had some sort of weird idea related to augmented reality or mixed reality, and so he patented it and paid for it, and they were like, "Sure, we'll take your money," and like, "Yeah, no one else will replicate this for sure." Yeah, because it doesn't work, and so of course he thinks that current companies are using his tech, but he doesn't understand even what he put forth in a patent, like let alone what Meta or Apple or Pico or whoever is actually using for their tech. Like, so he's just got a bunch of wrong ideas patented, and there's no peer review. They're just happy to take his money.
Oh, Terrence, you poor young man. And I think that's probably why people feel bad for him right now. No one's attacking him so harshly because they're like, he might have some, issues, or there's just like there's no point in like arguing down with someone who's just like in their own little worlds making up definitions.
And it's because he's spewing
if he's spewing his bullshit and he's just like going along saying something, there's probably a sizable audience who will believe it.
Exactly.
Like when
that's what I was saying, that the comments at first were very believing of what he was saying. Wasn't until after that everybody saw a bunch of videos of real people, real scientists, real educators coming out saying this is all bullshit. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, because he in the podcast, the reason that came out, the reason Neil deGrasse Tyson did that video on YouTube is because he called him out on the podcast saying, I sent this to him, and he basically just disregarded it because he doesn't seem to be in tune as I thought he was. And Neil deGrasse Tyson basically said, like, I wasn't harshly disregarding everything he said. I returned his paper with all of these comments.
Yeah, he peer reviewed it
the same way I would with any other legitimate scientist, which like I think is very respectable and more than he fucking deserved with that kind of shit, right? Because it's like, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson. He doesn't owe you anything. He could have completely ignored it. He could have completely shot you down and been like, you're an idiot. But no, he decided to step by step tell you why this is incorrect.
Tried to educate him, like genuinely from the bottom of his heart was like, oh no.
And this is the issue with people like that, is that when a scientist will do that, they just believe they're prejudiced against them and that it isn't based on actual science, that it's just that they hate them or for whatever reason, because they're an actor or whatever reason. and it's just like, this is why they need to be shut down, because you're going to completely negate everything he said in favor of continuing your own ideas, and they're totally wrong, and other people are going to believe it. And that's how we have a whole sect of people that believe the earth is flat. He's literally he doesn't believe the earth is flat, but he's on that same wavelength,
Yeah.
He's on the same, what does he say? The conjugations, the wave.
Yeah, he's talking about wave conjugations.
Wave conjugations. He's on that same wave conjugation.
In terms of physics, and it's like, conjugating is what you do to a verb. Like, that's grammar. That's not math at all.
That's what he's
not even close.
Pretty good at, though, is essentially, it's a word salad that he's able to compose and make it seem realistic, and everybody just eats it up. But the problem is people end up believing that stuff.
And he I think that is the problem, because he has a platform, because he's, like a semi-famous person. He got invited to Oxford to like a conference to speak about his new mathematical theories.
Oh man.
And of course he got skewered by people that actually passed 4th grade. But like, I think, and now he drops, like, when I was at Oxford, he drops that casually in conversation.
No.
And so for someone who really doesn't know anything about math, it lends this weird credibility to what he's saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, it is dangerous.
Well, not just about math, but just about what that platform is at Oxford. They just invite people of all sorts of backgrounds there to speak. He talks about it when he talks about it in other places. He talks about it like he attended Oxford, like he has a degree from Oxford, but he was just invited to speak there.
Yeah,
and got roasted.
It's a similar thing with I think he talks about even Harvard too, or some other Ivy League school in the States where he has, I think, some sort of honorary degree. And so he talks about how, like, oh, I studied at Harvard or whatever the school is. I got my degree there. But it's like, no, it's an honorary degree. Like, it's not the same. You can't talk about how you studied there and then try to proposition that people are rejecting your work and challenging it when you have no work there. You have this work outside of the fact that it's not really work. It's just you going home and thinking about things, not understanding it, and thinking you understand it all. And that's actually known as the Danning-Kruger effect, where the less you know about something, the more confident you are about how much you know about it. Yeah. And the more you know about it, the less confident you are. And so he's just at the beginning where, because he knows so little, he actually is very confident about how much he knows about this particular subject, which is math, because he just literally knows like grade 4, not even grade 4 math, and he's like already challenging it. It's like, being 10 years old, learning simple math and being like, this doesn't make sense to me, teach. This is messed up. Anyway.
Poor Terrence. I wish you luck in your getting back into acting career.
I think, yeah.
Is he still an actor? Is he still acting?
He still is an actor.
Or it's like Hollywood just kind of like
can you look up
completely removed
Terrence
him?
Howard angry about not getting an Emmy nomination?
On what?
Put in Terrence Howard angry Emmy nomination, because this has nothing to do with whether he's still acting or not, because I think he is still acting. He's on is he on that show with Atlanta? Not Atlantis. Atlanta.
I don't know what Atlanta is, Hugo.
It's a show with, I think,
red carpet. So I think it's safe to say we've had hundreds of red carpet conversations. But we've never had a red carpet conversation quite like this. When Empire debuted on Fox, show was red hot. Now, series star Terrence Howard says when it concludes this season, he's done with acting, and that's not all. We woke to headlines about the conversation this morning. Howard Stern, no less, played the whole thing. Friends in the booth to see if we could all better understand it. Said after you complete these 15 episodes of Empire, you got to walk away for a while or forever?
For good. I mean, everyone keeps trying to tell me don't say it's forever, but I've spent 37 years pretending to be people so that people can pretend to watch and enjoy what I'm doing when I've made some discoveries in my own personal life with the science that Pythagoras was searching for. I was able to open up the flower of life properly and find the real wave conjugations that we've been looking for 10,000 years. Why would I continue, walking on water for tips when I've got an entire generation to teach a whole new world?
That's a big remark. Yeah. What do you intend to do?
Well, let me put it this way. All energy in the universe is expressed in motion. All motion is expressed in waves. All waves are curved. So where does the straight lines come from to make the platonic solids? There are no straight lines. So when I took the flower of life and opened it properly, I found a whole new wave conjugations that expose the in-between spaces. That's It's the thing that holds us all together.
Okay,
You're live on TV, Terrence Howard. You can't go back now. We appreciate this. Golden nugget, thank you.
Real world conjugate. We've been looking for these for 10,000 years.
I didn't even know we were looking for it for that long, man. I thought we were looking for stable 5G connection all over the world, but
we were looking for that too.
I mean,
he hasn't figured that out.
No. I mean, he can try.
There's another video of him. I think it's with the Ugandan government. I could be wrong about the country, but anyway, he talks about how he's got these drones that he's developed that are able, would essentially be able to fight their wars for him, or for them, and thereby keeping their soldiers safe and their young people safe, because these drones are so powerful. They can rotate their and the unique idea that he has, the revolutionary idea, is that the rotors can spin in both directions, and so they don't have to flip in any way, and they can go up and down really quick, because they could just like stop spinning and go the other way.
Of course.
And that will give you like really nimble drones. Not really realizing that that wouldn't work. There's no way to stop these propellers from going like 20,000 RPM in one direction
and then just automatically switch them to the other one.
To the other direction. And really that wouldn't benefit it that much anyway. Like there are better ways to make a drone go up and down. Drones are already pretty nimble. That's why they're so popular. I don't think they need Terrence Howard's engineering.
You don't know what they need, Hugo, all right? He's found something that you've been searching for 10,000 years. Emily was right. Pythagoras was not 10,000 years ago, but he was searching for it since way back when. And the people before him were searching for it. All right. He just picked up and continued the work.
That's
all right.
True.
And he found something that not even they knew what the fuck they were looking for. All right. So you don't know what you need right now.
Pythagoras did come up with the slope formula pretty well, though.
Yes. Y equals mx plus b.
We all remember that.
Yes.
I think that's the only thing. Just searching for the slope.
That's the only thing I remember out of like grade 10 trigonometry.
Great. Look, we already know his name for it. We don't know Terrence's name.
We don't know. Not yet. We don't. He's out there to put a name to the name. Thank you, Terrence.
Rika. I found it. This is the root of all problems.
He did it.
Anyway, let's leave Terrence Howard be, Hey, Jono, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thanks, John.
Don't underestimate this Terrence Howard. It's true. I mean, maybe plot twist would be that one day he actually comes up with something revolutionary, like we all shit talked him.
I mean, that would be pretty interesting if he just like comes up with actually something that is relevant to science as a whole, or like even more surprisingly, mathematics. And it was just like, wow, who would have thought he had it in him this whole time?
I don't believe it. Okay. I just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
I don't think that he's ever going to be capable of that.
Well, now that you said it, now it's actually not going to happen, Hugo.
Sorry, Terrence.
And this is something they are grading you for in the karmic realignment afterwards, by the way.
What?
No faith in your fellow man. That's check.
Terrence Howard is not my fellow man.
That's check minus.
He's on his own planet.
Check minus. Enjoy your life as a hatless monkey now.
Whoa, I seem to see some beef going on in the chat.
Big time shade for Drasko.
Drasko to return my text. He isn't too good for me.
When'd you text?
A few times, most likely. If you're getting a text like that on the stream,
I'll have to go back and I'll have to go check. I'll have to go back and look at my DMs. But
look at all your DMs.
But I'll have to get my auditor to take a look at them.
You don't have an auditor, dude. You're not that important.
You don't know, man. Everyone should have an auditor for everything. It helps keep everyone balanced and helps keep the world in check. So the Terrence Howards of the world can't run around claiming that they've discovered something that you don't even know you've been looking for. And that's just a fact.
I think he was just pissed We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave this Terrence Howard thing.
All right.
But I think he was just pissed that he didn't get an Emmy.
He's had his moment in this.
He didn't get an Emmy, and he didn't get a star. Or did he get a star?
I think they would have.
He was getting a star. That's right. He just didn't get an Emmy. He was like, "How do I get a star before an Emmy? This doesn't seem to make any sense."
Why would they give him a star? Wouldn't they take that away?
It has nothing to do with anything. The stars have nothing to do with the Emmys. You can get a star
right
and
now,
not get an Emmy. You just have to be kind of like recognized enough. Although I do think it's crazy that they gave him a star, but you should have been thankful to get the damn star on the Flock of Flame.
I want to get my hands into the cement. How do I do that? What do I have to do for that?
I don't think they do that.
They don't. Do
they do that?
I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger put his hands in the cement.
Maybe they do that.
Yeah.
I don't really fully recall that, but maybe you're right.
Dude, you're drunk.
I am kind of crazy.
Okay.
Do we want to take a little break? Our drinks are all empty.
I think we could use a little bit.
Do you want a break?
Yeah, let's take a quick breather here, and we'll return with another hot segment of the Huge Podcast.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Oh, start counting. All right, everybody, let's all collectively go to the washroom.
We'll see everybody in 5 minutos. Hopefully, you stick around.
What's up, Drasko?
Welcome back to the Drasko and Emily podcast, also known as the Emily and Drasko podcast.
Drasko and I are wearing matching uniforms today. I don't know if you guys can see both of us.
Has noticed at this point. We have planned coordinated our outfits today.
We shop together. We shop together all the time, me and Drasko.
Always. We don't always agree on what fashion trends follow, but I think it's what keeps our friendship honest. Relationship without strife.
Oh, they're saying that we can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Thanks, Jono614 and Chumumu. Also,
of course they can't hear the flowery dude because he's not talking into his mic.
Were you not talking into your mic?
I'm sorry, but sometimes I don't like having a robot penis pointed at my face.
Well,
I'll do what I can for the audience. But sometimes we will make mistakes sometimes here at the Drasko and Emily podcast, but we're glad that you're here to help us along the way. And that ends this episode of the Drasko and Emily podcast. And now we continue to the Huge Podcast.
It wasn't great, friend. We got to do better.
It was a great segment. Everyone enjoyed it.
Apparently your mic isn't audible, Drasko.
I wasn't talking into my mic. That's why I wasn't
literally
audible.
was not speaking into his mic.
I was just sitting here, just talking into the camera.
Where was the mic?
It was right there.
Oh,
it was right there, off camera. I was just talking.
You were just
like I do on the bus.
Oh, hence the mistake that we make sometimes.
Yes.
I was wondering what the mistakes were.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
Anyway.
Jono, thank you for doing your part.
Yes, thank you, John.
Appreciate you guys for being in the chat today.
Mm-hmm.
It honestly makes it that much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would just be us. And we wouldn't need to be live. So having some people here joining us on the chat makes a world of difference.
It does.
Even if they have a grudge over you responding to them. How dare you?
I'll have to go back and check my messages.
Speaking of grudges and things brought up in the chat, Jono, he called Drasko out for his inability to hold a conversation with modern technology. But then there is also, he's wondering what we're drinking, Hugo.
Oh.
Bartender Hugo.
He got it right. Rum and Coke. That's right.
Wow. Technically, it's a Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre.
Yes.
Rum and Coke with a little lime.
Yes.
I think it's supposed, I made it with Coke Zero because it's what I happen to have.
You know what? The Cubans, they didn't have Coke Zero back when they created this. So it's not authentic.
It's not authentic.
That's points off.
And it's certainly not my best effort. And sorry, Sorry to everyone for that.
Also, rum and coke. What are you, fucking 19?
Look, man, we have Coke and we needed to use it. It's a Cuba +1. Exactly. You know? John, I wish you were here having a drink with us so you could tear into Drasko properly. You know what? It's okay, Drasko.
We welcome
One day-
embarrassing Drasko.
Drasko's not the best with fan communication, you know.
Not the best with communication in general.
So as a fan, you can message the rest of the team and you'll get a nice response. But if you message Drasko, it might be a while. He's on his little dictator time, you know. He gets back to you when he chooses to. So.
That's one of the perks of being a dictator, you know. I decide everything.
Yeah, it's true. You decide whether you put a mic in front of you or not. When
I can do whatever I feel is necessary at the time, and like all good dictators, history will absolve me of everything wrong.
As long as you win.
I always win.
There's a lot of dictators that have gone down in history not very favorably.
Who?
Tell me one. Mustafa.
Mustafa? You mean Mustafa?
That guy.
You mean Mufasa?
Mufasa.
Yeah, he was a dictator.
Yeah. And
Thank goodness his brother threw his ass off a fucking cliff. Oh, shit. Spoilers. Sorry.
Drasko. We seriously need a whole spoiler alert section alert on the podcast just for you.
God damn it. I'm just spoiling
Meat
everything.
Bun Chomper. Hang on. Let me make sure I got that right. Meat Bun Chomper. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight on this ever so special podcast. Well, where we definitely don't spoil anything. Honestly, at this point, if you haven't watched Lion King, it's kind of on you.
I mean, they remade it in real live action.
Real live action with real lions.
With real lions, all right? Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but those are real lions.
Not
Fucking
only
talented.
all of the animals are real.
Yeah.
The only thing fake was...
Billy Eichner voicing Timon.
I was going to say Beyonce singing. But, yeah. But that too. I also was not a fan of John Oliver's interpretation of...
You didn't like John?
No, John Oliver.
You just told John
I
that you're
love
happy
John.
that you're happy he's here tonight, and now you just told him to go fuck himself.
How dare you? Yeah,
that's
exactly.
rude, man. Dude, he's crying, dude. That's me.
John, this Jono. Imagine that was John Oliver watching our show.
Oh man, we just lost.
You know, I don't like him, but that would be pretty epic. You know, there's a lot of people that like John Oliver. I liked him in Community, but then
I didn't even know he was in Community.
Who was he in Community? I think you have the wrong person.
I think he does have the wrong person.
You pull up John Oliver instead of this guy that's on the screen right
now. He's the British funny guy that looks.
He's not funny though. That's the problem. And he played the bird. What's his name? Zazu.
Zazu.
And he was not good as Zazu.
Well, you just have to leave it to Mr. Bean to voice Zazu. Then.
Speaking of Mr. Bean, how is he not a Sir Rowan Atkinson? How is he not Sir Rowan Atkinson?
I don't know, but he has done other
Look
things.
At this guy, yeah, I'm definitely thinking of the right guy.
Yeah, John Oliver. But was he in Community? Carefree attitude of let's go to Sweden, take a bunch of mushrooms, and
can you do a Swedish accent when you say that? Take a bunch of mushrooms.
You want to go to Sweden? Take a bunch of mushrooms. You meet my buddy Sven. He likes to do the clog dancing. Hey there, Sven. Apparently, every time you sneeze, somebody's talking about you. And if you drop,
that's true.
If you drop,
that's definitely true.
If you drop a utensil on the floor, you're gonna have a visitor. So I think if you drop a fork, you're gonna have like a female visitor, and if you drop a spoon, you're having a male visitor. That's pretty weird.
So wait, I would have thought women were spoons and men were forks.
Yeah, well, you clearly don't know superstition.
You clearly don't know Filipino superstition.
Yeah.
It's
just go home, toss your fucking entire utensil drawer on the floor.
On the floor, we're having a party. Just when you finish, just empty your utensil drawer right on the fucking floor. Emily, we're having a fucking party.
Okay, I feel
I've made
super
it so.
validated. Grace just told me that I was right and you're wrong. So
It's
you
Chimew Mew.
can shut up.
Who?
Chimew Mew.
I don't know who these strangers in the chat are. They seem to
We
be
be dropping forks.
They seem to be
Johnny
hijacking
says.
the podcast.
They're not hijacking the podcast. They're a welcome addition to the podcast. Okay. What do we know? We don't know anything.
Clearly.
You definitely don't know anything about gnomes. Well, you went to the Philippines once and suddenly you're a gnomologist? Come back and preaching the gnomology? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Do we want to?
man, I'm trying to do. Oh Jesus! There's dogs everywhere. Look out!
You want to see a gnome?
A gnome right here.
Tell everybody.
Welcome to our new segment, the Eevee Corner.
Tell everybody how to defend against gnomes.
She's really unhappy with you.
She's really unhappy that we're bringing up
didn't
gnomes.
say anything about wearing your shirt back.
Well, that's her problem. She's gonna get lost in the woods with gnomes. That's how
I'd
it
honestly
works.
watch that as a horror movie.
What?
Gnome horror movie.
Oh, fuck! What are they remaking? Oh, god damn it!
Gremlins? Are they remaking Gremlins?
They're talking
would
about
be
that
sick.
actually. They're talking about making Gremlins 3, and it's supposed to be like a continuation from Gremlins 2, but I don't know what the theme of it would be. Oh well, it's just superstitious, I guess. Let's talk.
Jono, thank you for the follow.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Even with the grudge. You know what? You know how hard it was to get that follow, Drasko?
Thanks.
I blame you.
Thanks for the follow, John.
All right, time to justify yourself, Drasko.
Well, Hi, I'm Drasko. I'm 6'1", 37 years old. Is that it? Am I done yet?
No, you're just getting started, buddy.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you want from me, man.
I want you to tell me more about your trip in the Philippines. Not about your stupid license that you got that you're going to have until you're 123. I don't care about that. Everyone's got a license till they're 123.
Hey, man, all you have to do is pay the license fee, and you get to keep that thing and never have to do another test again.
Should we go into American politics now that we have at least one American viewer?
It's
I love this username, Meat Bun Chomper. You could get anywhere in the world with that username. It's like a European passport, you know. With that username, you get anywhere.
I'm questioning what kind of meat is in that bun, though. What kind of meat they put in meat buns?
Any meat that you chomp down.
Any meat that you want.
No, well, as long as you can chomp down on
You
it.
could put pork in there, put beef, put venison.
All of it.
Damn.
Tell me more about the Philippines. I've never been to the Philippines. I could tell they have some tropical forests.
They
down
got some
there.
wild shirts in the Philippines at the H&Ms.
No. Was that the Philippines H&M you bought that at?
No, I bought this at the Canadian H&M.
To go to the Philippines, so you look the part, right? You didn't want to show up down there looking like Big Ed, smearing mayonnaise all over your head.
Oh man. I mean, the first thing that happened when I got to the Philippines is Grace's parents got me 2 tank tops, which was very nice.
Whoa! Did they see your shirts and they were like, he's got stains, like we need to get him tank tops? Is that why?
No, I think they just knew that they're like, oh, Grace is bringing her fucking white boyfriend over who lives in the Arctic of Canada. Better get this guy some t-shirts that have no sleeves cut off or he's gonna fucking die under our roof. And
Yeah, we were late going live today because Drasko looked too pale under every light.
Oh
we
yeah,
put on him.
it's my fucking fault that this took so goddamn long to set up. Yeah, that's right.
We can spin it that way, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it certainly was 5 minutes at least of the figuring out.
yeah, just the lights.
You were pretty pale.
Anyway,
I so pale.
Anyway, the Philippines was good. I enjoyed it. The fruit and the food is amazing. If If you're gonna go there for any reason, go there for the food tourism. There's a lot of really good dishes. The seafood is amazing. The fruit is amazing. They have a lot of fried chicken and pork. Not so keen on all of that.
Do they have many motorbikes and scooters there?
Man, they got fucking scooters and bikes all over the fucking shop, man. They just go through traffic like nobody gives a fuck.
That's a true libertarian vehicle, man. That gets people around like no other car.
They still have to follow the rules of the road, but yeah, they can get around pretty much wherever the fuck they want.
Everyone can afford one of those.
And they do like Uber like ride shares with the mopeds and the scooters.
Did they ever ask you if you wanted boom boom?
No, I don't think that came up
No?
at any point.
Not once.
I don't think.
I guess because you were with your knight and savior, Grace.
Yeah.
Like if
she would keep away literally. Oh no, this is a great story. So when we were in the Philippines, we went to a market, and it's just like I guess the equivalent of a farmer's market from here. You know, a bunch of people come in from around town and they sell all their wares. And we had to drive to this place. And on the way there, all of Grace's family was in the car with us. It was telling me, okay, Drasko, you stay in the fucking car. And I'm like, what? Why the fuck do I have to stay in the fucking car? I'm like, am I going to get killed? Am I going to get fucking kidnapped, mugged? They're like, no, if they see you, they're going to increase the prices for everything because you're a fucking foreigner and they're going to upsell us.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's fair.
and I'm like, oh, fuck.
That's fair. If I was a country, I would do that too.
I literally just had to stay in the car, like, and then everybody else just went out. Like a few of their family members were there. But yeah, they were just like, no, you stay here because they're going to charge us more if they see fucking
White boy.
white boy hanging around.
Not just white boy, but like extra white boy.
Yeah. But I mean, it's true. Like, Grace went out, she bought like a thing of coffee, like decent, like unground, good smelling beans for like what? $7 or something?
And if you had gone, it would have been $14.
Probably more.
$7 for a nice like pound of coffee. That's great. Like
Yeah.
a pound of coffee is like here in Canada,
Like 20 something bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18 to $20.
Yeah. It was decent coffee too. But yeah, that was one thing that I'll always remember about my trip.
So you're gonna wear a tank top next week? when we
Everybody will
stream?
call him Joe.
I'll wear one of the tank tops that Grace's family got me. It's it gets cut way too close, so if I turn my body to one side, you can just totally just see my nipples just hanging out.
I've got some like
like a very loose
nipple
tank
covers we can
tops.
like nipple tassels we can put on you for fun.
Nah, I'm not about it.
Yeah, no,
I'm going all natural.
What's wrong with the nipples being shown?
Nothing, as far as I'm concerned. Other more uptight people have issues with it. I'm fine just letting them billow, letting them
Sounds
bang.
like you're not though. Sounds like you really don't want that to happen.
Why wouldn't I want people to see
Go
to
nip
see my
slips,
nipples?
baby. Come on, people.
It's
wanna
not
see
called a nip slip. It's called a wardrobe malfunction. All right, that's
Fair.
that's.
Not if you
that's
have
the
nipple
politically
tassels
correct.
that cover.
I don't know. Like we're gonna do that thing that Janet Jackson and what's his name, Justin Timberlake.
Jim
did.
Timberlake.
Jimmy Timberlake did.
I think you should do it.
All right. Next
episode,
Tune
bring-
in next episode.
Bring in the
Bring in the
Bring in the
nipples.
tank top.
Sexy
One
tank top.
one thing. Both tank tops had like gym shit on them. One of them just had like this really big beefy dude saying "no pain, no gain," and the other one had like
Sick.
an anthropomorphized dumbbell lifting a bar, just saying like "time to hit the gym." And I was like, "Are they trying to fucking tell me something? Do they want me to just like
No, it's
get
just
to
that,
the fucking gym?"
it's just that's what you put on a tank top. I don't think they're trying to tell you.
I think they were trying to tell me something. They were just like, "Nah, you got to get cut. You got to be in this family.
yeah.
You gotta."
Jimmy says they're trying to tell you to work hard.
Yeah,
You're not working hard enough.
I do work hard. Okay.
Do you?
When my boss isn't there, I might not be working. Who knows? Yeah, that's. I guess that's about the highlight.
That's
of
not the kind of hard work we're talking about here, Drasko. We're talking about muscles do you lift?
I lift this Cuba Libre to my lips, and then I lift it back down.
Look, I'll only believe that when you bring in that tank top, that sweet, sweet, sexy Filipino tank top. I want to design one for you.
I've got tank tops.
I want to design a tank top for you with like a piece of ham.
Ooh.
Lifting up your nipples. Or something.
Okay.
Or maybe a piece of ham, a piece of Spam lifting something.
Which they love in the fucking Philippines.
It has to be gym related because it's a tank top. That's why I think they like both tank tops have gym related stuff. It's just like in the Philippines, you see like tank tops are for gym. They're for the gym.
I mean, it's true. You always see muscle bros just wearing tank tops.
But you don't have to be a muscle bro. You'll look more like a muscle bro by just wearing a tank top. I think you'd look slick in a tank top.
Yeah. Okay. Tune in next episode where Drasko will be debuting the tank top.
Be looking like John McClane from Die Hard. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he wore technically what was known colloquially as a wife beater.
But that's colloquially.
Colloquialisms.
You know, in the Philippines, that's not what they see.
No.
They don't see it as a wife beater. They see it as a gym shirt.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, that's, nobody sees it as a wife beater anymore. That's a very old school mentality, Drasko. Now it's stylish.
Now it's stylish.
Styling and profiling.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I want to wear something that's a little less form-fitting and more allowing for wardrobe malfunctions to happen.
So the tank top, right?
Yes. The tank.
I'm excited. Emily, are you excited about that?
Very. I'm gonna think about it all week.
Oh God damn it!
We should all come in tank tops. Nah, we can't steal the thunder. It's a Drasko thing. Drasko in tank tops. That's gonna be the name of the episode. Drasko in a tank top.
We'll bring in a few, and we'll have a poll.
A fashion show. With spaghetti
John
straps.
McCain.
Yeah.
He's coming in as John McCain. We're gonna have John McCain on the show. You just can't tell anyone that you're not actually John McCain.
Yeah.
And just the same way that everybody believed Terrence Howard, everybody's gonna believe you're actually John McCain. We have John McCain, the real John McCain.
Yes.
Here to save the day and party with us like it's 1994. 1989. I could have the years mixed up.
I think he ran for the second Obama term. I don't know. I can't remember.
Wait.
That was a long time ago.
I was thinking about Bruce Willis. That's not John McCain. That's the politician.
Yeah.
Where am I getting these? Where are these names getting mixed up?
John McClane.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hugo. Didn't you watch Die Hard and you were like, I fucking love Die Hard?
McClane, I thought it was the same thing.
He's not the guy who made the French fries, Hugo. That's for sure. Or the cake.
Wait, there's a dude that made French fries. Is the guy that made French fries the same as the guy that made the cake? Oh, that's McLean. It's McLean's, right?
Yes.
I can't be wrong about this. I can be wrong about the gnome thing, but I can't be wrong about this.
Oh my God.
You can be a little wrong.
Speaking about McLean.
Which one?
McCain. The guy.
The cake?
The politician. He was helping Joe Biden write his speeches.
Did you know that he was a POW during the Vietnam War?
No.
Yeah. He flew a mission.
I've been to Vietnam and I never knew that.
Oh wow. He stayed at the famous Hanoi Hilton.
Hanoi Hilton.
Yeah. It was just a torture camp that was just known as the Hanoi Hilton. In actuality, they just pulled out your fingernails over there.
Oof.
But yeah.
Have you ever had your fingernails pulled out?
No, but I've cut.
What about your toenails? Have you ever had those pulled out?
I cut my fingernail so close that I snipped my cuticle once. That hurt.
It's real first world, dude.
You're fucking softy. You're a triple soft combo. A little soft serve.
No.
I had to get my toenail cut out completely.
Yeah,
once.
me too. I had it ingrown once. They had to shoot 4 shots of numbing agent and then just cut into it with a pair of fucking like garden shears.
Like literally, yeah, they dig in there.
Yep.
All the way down to the bed.
Yep.
And then it cut and they just rip the whole thing off.
Yeah, I remember. I had to take a few days off of school.
But that's with 4 shots of numbing.
Numbing.
Pain numbing things.
Yep.
Imagine the PO John McCain in Vietnam, in Hanoi Hilton.
Mm-hmm.
I respect John McCain a lot more now. I think he should have been in Die Hard. If he was alongside John McClane, he should have been in Die Hard. And you know what? Throw Jamie Oliver, John Oliver in there too. The chef, the fucking parrot.
John Leno? Can we put him in there?
Yeah, we can put John Leno in there too. The fucking whole band of the cockroaches, throw them all in there. It's going to be a sick movie. I believe they call them La Cucarachas.
I believe that movie is called The Expendables. And they might be coming out with another one.
Expendables 5.
Oh, God. You ever think that maybe we should just get like new actors instead of reusing old ones?
No, man. Okay, look. You know what I said about getting retested when you're old for your driver's license? That still stands. But as far as old action heroes still acting, let them act till they die.
They stand the test of time. Yeah. I want to see Bruce Willis with his current medical conditions still acting in movies.
Terrence Howard too, exactly.
Okay, so one time I met Bruce
Willis's
I met his stunt double in an airport, and he's real effed up. He was like, "Oh yeah, I can't feel my extremities anymore."
Jesus.
Because I was like, "Yeah, you know, like when you walk me through some of these things, like when you get hit by a car, like tell me what you do. Like how do you make it happen?" He's like, "No, you just get hit by a car."
Oh.
He was like, "But I put my kids through college." No, he's like, "I've got several broken vertebrae, but
it's definitely not a long-term career plan." But
he looked a lot like Bruce Willis, which was really fun. We hung out for like 2 hours and drank at an airport. It was
Jesus, great. You know some like very interesting people.
No, I don't. I don't know him.
You met him.
Met him once, like 10 years ago.
I don't know. You told me that story about how you met the migrant astronaut. The guy. What was his name?
Jose Hernandez. No,
yeah.
I have his number. Yeah, no, I know Jose like very well.
See?
Yeah. Well, no, but I work for an aerospace company. Like, man, not to dox myself, but I work for an aerospace company. So
we won't say which one.
I know. I know astronauts. I know astronauts.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, that was so weird because it was like
it's a small community.
I remember that conversation we had. I was just like watching that movie, and I'm like, "Oh man, I just saw that movie," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I know the real guy."
Yeah.
And I'm like, what
I
the
text
fuck?
him. I mean, not a lot. Not a lot. I'm going to be honest. We text sometimes, like seasonally. He texted me Merry Christmas, and it made my friggin' Christmas.
Aw.
That's it.
That's nice.
Anyway. So tank tops.
Can we go back to talking about the Expendables?
The Expendables 5.
And how...
Did you know that Mad
Biden.
Max was in Expendables 3? Mel Gibson.
Oh,
He was the bad guy.
Mel Gibson's such a good guy, though.
Yeah. All of Hollywood loves him.
Why was he a bad guy?
Because he's crazy, apparently. I don't know. He's still Mad Max to me, damn it.
Have you seen
Furiosa?
Furiosa.
We actually saw that in the Philippines. Fun thing.
Wait! Fucking Drasko. The spoilers!
I'm not spoiling it!
Oh, okay. All
God
right.
damn it.
I just thought you were going to.
No.
After that, we got to get into Thrones of Power.
Okay, fine. I was going to say that the movie came out, and me and Grace, we went to go see it, but we splurged on the director's experience seats, which are the nice ones that like you have the control button that like leans them all the way back and like puts the feet up, and you get like you can fit like 2 kids in between you because they're really. We had the whole fucking theater.
That's crazy.
Actually, technically, there was one
luxury.
more.
How was the air
more
conditioner? I feel like in the Philippines, the air conditioner in all the interior spaces is like knock your tits off.
It's god tier air conditioning in the Philippines. Everywhere you go.
I believe that.
Everywhere you go. Although
Which is crazy though, because you'd think that the people there would be more used to the heat and not require such crazy like air conditioning. But I also just believe that it's just like knock your rocks off.
So they've got air conditioning everywhere you go indoors. They have air conditioning, and if they don't have air conditioning, they have at least 5 fans blowing all the goddamn time.
Like we have 5 fans blowing all the time here too, and it's not the same thing as like full blown air conditioning. But most of them are here to shit talk you.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you're reading it, but
I actually haven't been reading it. It's to kind of help keep my feelings in check and stop me from crying. So I'm like not looking at.
Somebody's looking for you to fail here.
I don't want to know who, to be honest.
You've made some enemies.
I'm sure that this podcast is eventually going to turn into, hey, remember that time Drasko wronged you? Now you can blast his ass live on the internet. It's going to be catharsis for so many fucking people.
It's like a whole new game.
Yeah, like, hey, here's this person that fucking pissed you off.
Okay, but what else were you going to say about Furiosa?
It was all right. Yeah, that's.
Did you know? Okay, spoiler alert. This is a spoiler alert.
Did you know?
It's a real spoiler alert. So if you haven't watched Furiosa, and you don't want it spoiled,
plug your ears.
Plug your ears. Although it's not a huge one, I feel like I should have known this going into it. I didn't know it was a prequel to Fury Road.
Oh,
the whole fucking time until the end when that sequence starts playing.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was a prequel.
Really?
Did you know it was a prequel?
Yes.
How did you know it was a prequel?
Because after Fury Road came out, the director was talking about how he wanted to do a standalone Furiosa movie. But
that still doesn't explain that it would be a prequel. Well, I thought it was a sequel.
No, it never materialized, but I always knew.
I should have known. I still should have known.
I always knew that he wanted to do it. Fun fact, did you know that the guy who directed the Mad Max movies also directed Babe?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, George Miller?
Yeah. He directed Babe.
He directed Babe?
He directed Babe. The pig movie.
Okay, but sometimes you just got to do what brings in the money, man.
I mean, he did it. So there you go.
Cuba Libre.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. From this spoiler, last time we talked about in somewhat depth, the Thrones of Power.
Oh,
show.
Boy. Am
I saying that right?
It's the Game of Dragons.
Game of Dragons.
House of the Dragon and the Rings of Power. I feel like we're mixing things up.
Thrones of the Power. You know what I'm talking about.
Emily, you're being too Cuba Libre'd over there. All right?
A little bit.
I'm really sorry, but I just want some clarification which show you made.
Oh. We're talking about the one with the fantasy.
Like, so with dragons or with rings? Because they both have fantasy.
The one
fantasy all around.
The one with the fantasy where there is war and people fighting. That's the one. That's the one
they all
talking about. I don't.
The both, like literally both.
No, Rings of Power I haven't seen. I've seen a few episodes.
No, okay, look, let's get beyond this. We know we're talking about the Game of Thrones.
Okay. We're talking about the House of the Dragons.
House of the Dragons.
Yes.
Ice and fire, fire and ice.
Yes.
A little bit of spoiler alerts here. Yes. We're not actually going to get into details about the plot.
No.
But have you caught up?
Yes.
And has your opinion changed since the last time you watched the show?
I think I've like taken your opinion to heart. There's no fucking funny jokes in this goddamn show at all. And it's kind of wearing on me.
But I don't remember you agreeing with me on that.
I did agree with you on that.
Oh, you did agree.
I did agree. There is no funny characters. Everybody is serious, and then the next scene is serious, and then the next scene is serious, and then the next scene is like, oh, this guy is making fun of somebody else, and then the next scene is serious, and then the next scene is weird, and then the next scene is incest, and then the next scene is like miscarriage, and then there's a war. Like, there's no room to breathe in this show.
It's all very dark.
It's all like, you better be miserable going into the show.
And it's too late now to change it. I remember
You can't have any jokes anymore.
Like, you can't
We've
now.
already written ourselves into this hole. We gotta dig through it.
You can't now go into it and say like anything funny. You can't introduce this like lighthearted character at this point. It's way too late. And that is still the issue I have with the show. That it's just like it's monotone in that sense. But that said, the plot is thick.
The plot is good.
That plot be tick.
It's getting better. I think that they've finally gotten to the point where they're like, okay, we're at the point where we can now start talking. Like, the characters have had their chance to develop, and now they're finally. This is, I guess, the point of the story where they're like, okay, this is the war. What I am more concerned about is the fact that they just renewed it for a third season, which...
How does that concern you? I mean,
okay,
that's to be
so
expected.
No, because... All right, when you're writing a show or a story, when they just write it to the fact of like, okay, there's only going to be 2 seasons, they're writing it so that it has some sort of conclusion at the end. So now that the fact that they have, now we have a third season, now they're going to need to either extend the story or change the ending somehow, or in season 3, episode 1 or 2, they're going to have to retcon something that happened to continue the story onward. That's what worries me about it, is that you're extending the show based on the network saying, okay, you're renewed for another season or not. Because then the writers have to like, okay, we either have to wrap this up at some point, or okay, we can leave it open-ended at the end because we have another season to play with.
Yeah, that's a fair concern. But I imagine that
because all of season 2 is
it's not
done.
going to happen.
It's done. Like, season 2 is already like written and finished. They're working on season 3 now.
Yeah, but isn't this based on a whole book that's already written, unlike the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones?
I'm not sure. I haven't read the book.
What the hell, Drasko?
I have the book.
You've read the book?
It's out there. I have not read it. I have it.
Okay.
But it exists.
Yeah.
Unlike
exists.
much of George R.R. Martin's
the last 2 or 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, which are kind of up in the air.
Jono says, watch Poldark. Have you watched that?
I haven't watched Poldark.
You see? The brass.
The brass is ass.
The brass is... Yeah, that's right. Get
Emily,
wet.
don't.
The best. I know they were a gift. The best.
Don't.
These are the best. If you see these in store somewhere, these are the best coasters money can buy.
We the
Okay,
best.
These are
Rude.
made of bronze and brass.
We the
Both
best
of the bras
roasters.
of metals. You put your cup on top, and then when you take the cup off,
The coaster stays with you.
the coaster comes with you
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
And then it just...
Okay.
Rip table.
Rip table. Shit, my Amazon table. Oh, it's cracked. Why?
Oh, my pride.
I like how brass smells. Nice. And no rust. It's true. This again, yeah. Chimimi was like, can we stop talking about these coasters?
We're going to lose a follower, man.
Yeah. Well, it's just because
Okay. All right. Anyway, Games of Power. Yeah, it's all right. I'm actually
it's good. The plot is thick. I love it. I'm definitely excited for the next episode.
I want to see what happens.
I'd be wearing my tank top too.
Yeah. I'd be wearing my dragon themed tank top as well to every episode. Yeah, no, I am interested. I do want to see what happens next. I don't know if it's because like I think some of the characters are still a little bit like weirdly written. I think some of the decisions they make are a little bit like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's I don't know if that's like a personal thing or if like everybody else feels that way.
Wait, what character do you think was weird? I feel like the characters, they've done a good job with the characters. It's just that they're all the same. Every character is kind of monotone. None of them are different from each other.
Mm-hmm.
They all have like very similar interests. They all just want to be in power and survive,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously pretty common as far as a human character will go.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, could you not have come up with characters that want different things? They all want the same thing. They just all want to be on top and want to survive, or they want to support the person that wants to be on top. If they're not on top, they want to support their rightful king or queen. You know.
I think the issue is that they've written a Greek tragedy to follow something that was much more well-rounded. Or to be very fair, I don't know if it was written before Game of Thrones or if it was something he wrote while he wasn't finishing the Game of Thrones series. I actually have no idea what the timeline was. But it's basically, it's a tragedy. There's no lightheartedness. There's no balance in the way that you're supposed to feel when you watch it. It's just like a train bound for, a crash. Like it's just, what's going to happen and it's not going to be good, but you also can't look away in a sense,
Nope. It's true. There is I think at this point I'm just tuning in more for I guess the tragedy is the right word for it. Something bad is gonna happen, and I want to know what the next bad thing is gonna be.
How bad is
Let's
it gonna
speculate.
get? How
Let's
crazy?
speculate. This isn't spoilers.
Okay,
It's speculation.
It's speculation. Okay.
What do you think? What do you think?
Who's gonna come out on top? I don't think. I think that what they're saying is right, where they're gonna be even if we do go to war,
doom scrolling on the TV show.
Even if we do go to war, whoever the victor is, they're going to be the king of a pile of shit, basically, because everything's going to be burnt and fucking destroyed. I think that is going to be the case of it. I'd love to see One-Eyed Willie get his fucking comeuppance, for sure. I think I want to see the drunk king.
No, it's not what you want. It's what you think they're going to do.
Oh, okay. What do I think they're going to do? I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any peace. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I don't think peace is going to be an option anymore. They've tried, maybe we can pursue peace. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah,
it's ending in fire. And blood.
I think
the book is called Fire and Blood.
Yeah, I think Emily's.
But the Targaryens obviously survive. It's not like they get.
They got another one or two guys who are gonna take over. But yeah, they've got their end coming. How it's gonna end. The Targaryens are gonna finish.
Well, they don't come out on top.
No.
But they also don't just disappear.
No.
And dragons don't disappear either. We know that from Game of Thrones.
Well, apparently they do, because apparently it's been 100 years since anybody has seen the last dragon for when Game of Thrones starts.
True, but she had a dragon.
She had 3
arrows. Daenerys.
She had the eggs. She had the eggs. She incubated
she brought them
the
to
eggs.
fruition.
But it was 100. It was 100 years since the last dragons died when Game of Thrones started. That's the thing. That's why everyone was like, "You got dragons? I don't fucking believe you. Show me the dragons. Show me the dragons."
That's true. So this isn't going to end well for any of the dragons.
No,
in the show.
I think that's kind of the way that he wrote it, is that the dragons died with the Targaryen dynasty. It's because they were intertwined together. So when the Targaryens stopped ruling, the dragons also died out as well. So it was kind of a thing. And then with the dragons coming back, and she's like, "Oh,
spoiler alert, Drasko." You're ruining the show. Now you've brought so much sense into it that I can't not see it. I think you're right. It is true.
Well,
this is going to end up poorly for the Targaryens.
I'm just looking at it I think that there's more of a way that they're writing the show where it's the dragons are more of the equivalent of today's nuclear weapons. The way that they're kind of using the oh, we can't use the dragons, they're too powerful. If we use dragons, then they'll use dragons, and then nothing will be survival, and then no one will rule anything.
That's true.
But
that is very much.
But the dragons are cool though. I do like seeing them. Although there are some scenes where the CG is just oh man, the CG is not good.
You just got to get past that, man. Just use your imagination.
Just use the imagination.
You were playing Super Nintendo and other lesser consoles with 16-bit graphics.
And I was just as a kid, I'm wow, I don't want to see these potato faces. I want to see real shit. And now I have the real shit, and I'm this is terrible. Give me the potato faces. You can't please anyone, Hugo. That's the real. That's the
Certainly
real
not
life.
you. You're too hard to please.
No, man, I'm the salt master here.
You're a salt master. Well, speaking of the salt master, I think it's that time. I think we're gonna
What
put you
time?
to the test.
Oh, what do we got now?
We're gonna, we're bringing trivia back.
Oh shit!
We're gonna bring a quick trivia back.
Live.
Live.
Time to expose Drasko for the fraud that he is. All right, let's do it.
You ready?
All right, is there a theme to this trivia? Can I ask that?
General
It's true, though.
trivia.
John says
General trivia.
Drasko being hard to please ensures a high level of quality. It's true.
You know what, John? You just
You just earned yourself a response. One. I'm sending one response.
I was gonna say that's true. People should make things to my standard. Therefore, everything will be great and everyone will enjoy it.
Thank you, my lord. He says. Really do hope you respond. But first, we're gonna go and test Drasko's real world knowledge.
All right. Okay.
Producer Emily, do you have some trivia for Drasko set up?
Live from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Don't look over there. Do not look over there. Them's answers be over there. Like the gnomes where you got to wear the shirt backwards. You know, that's the thing with tank tops. That's why the Philippines, they love tank tops. You can't tell if they're backwards or not. You can't tell if the tank top is worn backwards or not.
There actually is a way to tell if the tank top is backwards.
How?
That's on the trivia questions. Emily, hit me.
Not on the trivia questions.
That's fucked up. I don't think you can. I think you can wear a tank top both ways and nobody will be able to tell.
What's the first question, Emily?
Your first trivia question is, who invented the telephone?
Oh, Alexander Graham Bell.
Sounds right.
Anybody gonna rebut Hugo? Any alternate answers?
He's got the answer right there. Alexander Graham Bell.
AGB sounds pretty right.
Jono is saying Marconi. Unfortunately, Drasko is correct in this situation.
Sorry, Jono. Marconi sent the first message by wireless.
Whoa.
That's what he did. They had wireless communications before the telephone, but Graham Bell invented the telephone.
So did Marconi invent Motorola or Nokia?
I just took a look at the screen. I just lost a follower again.
I hate you, Drasko. I take back everything nice I've ever said.
That's what I do to people, unfortunately.
Emily, you have to let us know about such fire messages coming towards Drasko.
I didn't see it.
I'm
I'm reading my trivia
I'm
over
on
here.
the hot seat. All right, that's one. That's probably going to be the only correct answer I get. But you know what? I'm willing to take a stab at it. Let's go for fucking 2, yo. Let's go.
Let's go. How many are we doing? 5, 10?
I don't know. You're the trivia master.
I mean, I've got 50,
5.
but I feel like
I think we're not doing
that.
fucking 50 questions. I think 5 is good, and then we'll wrap up the show. We're almost at 2 hours. That's a good amount.
Yeah. All right, come on, hit me with another
5
one.
to like
All right.
7.
5 to 7.
That's the
We'll see how well he's doing and see if we need to buffer it. All right. What year did the Titanic sink?
Come on, we covered this in detail last year.
I think it started with 19.
No shit.
Oh,
Sherlock.
for God's sakes.
Come on. Starts with the 1 after that 19.
1911.
You're wrong.
12.
It is 1912.
Yeah, but I don't get the credit for it.
You do not. No. you do not.
Damn it.
You do not.
Okay.
You know, a year off in the scheme of things, but
Look,
it's a
man,
big year.
It was a huge year. All right, I remember because they did the whole thing in.
You remember?
Okay.
Honestly, I was with John. I thought it was 1918. 1918.
Yes.
And Chimumu thought it was
think-
1917.
I think 1918 is when World War I ended.
Isn't that when it started?
1914.
Started in 14, yeah.
14.
Ended in 18.
Yeah, that's why 1918 is so famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking 1911 because of the gun, the Colt 1911.
Oh.
As this is a famous gun.
Didn't know you were such a pocket heavy friendly guy.
I've played some video games that might have featured it. Anyway, next question, Emily. Make it a video game question.
It's not.
Well,
It's really not. This is general knowledge.
well, video games are pretty general, so
I mean, yeah, but also, what's the smallest planet in our solar system?
oh, kiss.
This
My
is like a
ass.
Terrence Howard grade 4.
Does
yeah.
does Pluto still count as a planet? Because I remember that was one of the reasons why it was taken out.
I mean, we're gonna say no.
Okay. Okay, so I know Venus is the same size, or is Mercury the same size? I think it's one of those two. I think it's either Venus or Mercury, or it might be Neptune, or it might be Uranus.
I feel like we should count Pluto.
You better call NASA on that thing, because I think they're flip flopping on the answer on that one.
Don't count Pluto on this one.
Okay, I'm taking a stab at it. I'm gonna say Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet.
Correct.
Yeah, motherfucker. It's the planet closest to the sun. That's why it's so small. It's because the heat of the sun is slowly reducing the size of Mercury, and because it travels faster because of gravity. That's a fact. Tell me another one. I'm fucking Terrence Howarding this shit. You thought you knew fucking physics? I'm answering all the questions now, Hugo.
Mercury, I would have gotten that wrong.
All right, I'm ready for the next one.
Okay, some of these are bananas. Just give me a sec.
Bananas. I can answer any bananas question.
They're yellow. They're
Are we
big
doing this
and
where
small.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
What is the most consumed manufactured drink in the world?
Oh, that's easy.
Crap.
Okay.
I got an answer for that.
All right, we're gonna let Drasko answer
Yeah,
first, and then you
let's
can
let
have your
Drasko
little
go
answer.
first.
Okay, so
Don't look at the chat.
okay, fun fact. It used to be Coca-Cola until New Coke was invented, and then Coca-Cola's stocks fucking plummeted like motherfuckers. Manufactured drink. Is beer a manufactured drink? It could be.
I mean,
Presumably,
it is, but do you think
yeah.
it's consumed more than
Coca-Cola?
soft drinks like Coke?
Well, think about how many times kids drink fucking soft drinks.
I mean, we just had some in our Cuba Libres.
There you go.
You couldn't have a liberated Cuba without this drink.
Otherwise, you're just having Cuba.
Who wants to do that?
Who
Wants to just drink? It would just be rum.
who wants to drink communism?
I had nothing wrong with that. I'm not
Okay.
against it.
The most manufactured drink. You know what? Beer isn't produced by an animal. We have to manufacture it. No. Wine. The answer is wine.
I've never seen you be so wrong.
You know what, man? Guess what they have in communion? It fucking ain't Coca-Cola.
Not a good metric to
Yeah,
run it
no,
by.
it can't be wine, man.
not wine.
Ah,
Not wine.
what is it then?
I'm going with Coke. I think it is.
You're saying Coca-Cola.
I think it's
Is it
still
Coca-Cola brought back the fucking... They brought it back? What is it, the Crystal Coke from the 80s?
No, man. It's just regular old Coke.
All right, Emily, let's have the answer since you fucking shot me down already. What is it?
This one, I feel like you're gonna be mad.
I am going to be mad. I'm already fucking mad.
Damn, I don't think it's
You
Coke.
better
though.
just fucking say
Otherwise,
it.
she would have already said Hugo's right. So it's not Coke either.
It's tea.
I guess that is manufactured. I really thought it was Coke.
Fucking British and their
Jimmy-
limey bull. Your John Oliver just fucked me, Hugo. I hope you appreciate that one.
Jamie Oliver.
Yeah, what the fuck? Tea? Who? Yeah.
I know. I'm
Like
sorry.
Monster Energy would have been a fucking better answer, man. Like this is bullshit. Fucking British.
Tea's pretty boring.
Fucking Imperials.
All right, I feel a little attacked, but we're gonna
Well,
go
you
on
know
to the next
what?
one.
It was the Spanish little gnome conquistadors that didn't bring tea to England because it was the Portuguese people that brought tea.
I honestly think people are drinking more wine than tea. I think your dates on this question are a little bit skewed.
I think Coca-Cola is being drank more than tea.
We'll need to do an audit
How
of.
is tea drank more than Coca-Cola?
We'll need to do an audit of her.
you can't get tea
answers.
at McDonald's. Actually, you can, but
You can, but why would you?
yeah. Why would you?
Why would you?
All right, next question.
I think we're on the last question, actually.
John is drinking black tea right now with milk or no milk.
John, it's like fucking 11 o'clock at night.
Do you need another? Do you need to anger him more? Are you serious right now, Drasko?
Walking on some thin fucking ice.
You're only going to respond to him once, and you really want to question his tea drinking? He's drinking literally the most mass-produced drink in the world.
Next question.
No sugar.
So I just realized that
milk. That's the way to do it.
there are categories to this thing that I'm on.
Any question will do.
All right.
Video
we
games.
did some general trivia. We did some entertainment, or maybe I just skipped right by those. We did food-related questions. Let's go to science. How's that?
Oh, Terry. Wait, that's not his name.
All right. Who is known as
Me.
the
I'm known.
Shut up. Who is known as the father of genetics?
Oh, well, it's probably not Pierre Curie or Marie Curie. The father of genetics? What's his name? Mr. DNA? Is that the answer?
Oh, man.
No. Fuck. Well, this is a hard question. Thank goodness this isn't Double Jeopardy and I didn't just go all in, Ken. Fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna say the father of genetics is I don't know. Fucking Evie. There.
I'm going to go with... What's the one?
I pass to Hugo. That's my answer. I pass it to Hugo. I want to use a lifeline. I want to use phone a friend. I want phone. Hugo. Hello, Hugo. I want you to answer this question.
I don't know if I'm right about this, but I think it might. Does it have anything to do with that guy? You know, when you like die, when you die stupidly, what do they call it?
It's not God.
No.
It should be God because he created everything.
Darwin.
Darwin did not do fucking
It's
genetics.
No.
It's not Charlie Darwin.
He had a theory of evolution.
Natural selection, evolution. That's sort of it for Darwin.
DNA is kind of at the root of all that.
No, he's.
You just been outschooled, Emily.
I mean,
John, Dr. DJ. Look, if we ever listen to anyone, it's DJ Dr. C, and he says Ron Lewis Hubbard.
Yeah.
Is it that? Is it him?
No. It's Gregor Mendel.
Who?
Oh,
He was a monk. He
knew.
learned about genetics through beans.
you knew.
Yeah, I mean,
Granville
anyone that's
Clegane Mendel.
done grade 6 biology
Whoa.
knows.
Dude, we have some seriously smart people watching our show. Unlike us, who believe 1 × 1 = 2.
I mean, you hold up one candle to the mirror, you get 2 candles. That's a fucking fact.
That's right. That is, I believe that. But
Anyway, what's my
Chamumu.
score?
Chamumu, good job. You won that one. Drasko and I, we both failed. I still thought that Charles Darwin had something to do with DNA, but I guess not.
I mean, I guess we have some people who are like scientifically knowledged in the audience. One might say
So
that they
who's
are
Gregory
science-
Clegane Mendel? Wasn't it?
No, it's not Gregory Clegane.
Is there
That's a joke.
There's Clegane in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
the
not that
mountain
person.
rides.
His
So
name
he
is
is the one.
He
No.
created genetics. Can you believe that shit?
Oh,
No.
hardly.
I mean, I thought all he was good for was swinging a sword
And
and turning
being
into a zombie.
Giant.
Oh shit! Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers, Drasko. This is why we have no fans that like you.
I thought it was my charming personality that keeps people away. Don't make this weird. So what's my total here, Emily? What?
You got 2.
Fuck.
2 out of 6
And just because of that,
6?
or 5.
Chamumu isn't following.
I don't even trust your counting math on this, yo. Where's Terrence?
I've had 2 to 6 drinks, so
I think it was 6.
You know.
I
It
believe
might
that.
have been 5, but either way, you only got 2 right. That's pretty sad.
Well, that's,
You're supposed to be the smart one in the group.
I mean, I just got 20%, so I don't know if you want to count that as smart. I don't even know if that fraction adds up, to be honest.
Probably not.
Probably not. But I'm willing to believe it. Anyway.
Well, I think we have to kind of end it on that. Like,
Unfortunately,
you
we
need to go and respond to Jono, and you need to go and pay your
taxes. I don't want to pay my
to
taxes.
Chimumu because Chimumu knew the answer when you didn't.
Well,
and then after that, just send me a message being like, Hugo, thank you so much for everything.
for the Cuba Libre,
Cuba Libre.
can I be a little bit honest about it?
Look, I already know. So
What is
yes, it wasn't good.
And it's not that it wasn't good, but I think you used a little bit too much lime in it.
Well, yeah, something about it wasn't good. It could be that too much lemon.
Or probably the Coke Zero. It probably needs the sugar
Maybe-
of the actual Coca-Cola.
I want to argue that it needed the sugar of the actual Coke.
I think so.
The Coke Zero was not a good fit,
Mm.
but I certainly did not enjoy it myself either.
That's okay. I still appreciate.
So you can be honest. Be brutally honest.
I can't because I'm gonna lose another fucking friend, man.
I'm going to fucking send some angry messages to you anyway.
And I'm not gonna answer them.
You know what? Jono, thank you for joining the chat. Chimumu, DJ Dr. C. Who else? Who else joined the chat?
Meat bun eater.
Meat
The meat bun lover.
Meat Bunch.
The meat bun fucker.
Damn it.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Meaty Eater, you know who you are.
We have
Thank you
DJ
for
Dr.
joining.
C.
Empress of Storms, Poor Pinata, everybody that joined today. It's been a very special Friday. I think we're calling it.
It's
Next week, Drasko's going to win
the trivia off. I'm gonna win that solid gold pinata. I'm gonna take it home, and it's gonna be mine. Damn it!
It's not solid gold.
But that's it.
This is what you're going to win.
I'm gonna fill it with candy, and it's gonna be delicious.
Next week, that's what's going to happen with Drasko.
Tune in next week for our review of this week's episode of the Games of Power. Will there be comedy? Definitely not. Will there be dragons? Probably yes. Will somebody die? Probably maybe. Will there be a creepy sex scene? Probably yes.
Join us next Thursday at a time to be posted
Yes.
on somewhere.
It's probably going to be right here.
Eventually, we're going to have a whole little Discord community going, and we'll post it there. But obviously, you can't do that right now. But yeah.
But feel free to join in next week and flame me some more.
Come on down to Flame Drasko.
Come on down. We take your flamins and we make burgers out of them.
Thank you for joining us tonight on this little lovely podcast.
Yeah, thanks for
We appreciate
coming by.
everybody joining on the chat.
Thanks for chatting as well. Even if all you had to say was just fuck Drasko. It's still,
Especially if that's all you had to say.
I mean, it keeps the people coming back for more, as far as I can see. So yeah, thanks guys.
All right,
Wonderful
everybody.
having you.
Come and join us next time for some more trash Drasko talking.
Yeah.
Emily, do you have some words of wisdom to send us off on?
Yeah, thanks for joining the huge podcast where the size of your happiness matters more than the size of your problems. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Cheer on out.